A little taste of coffee, please. Thank you. I have to have my coffee, right? Sin entered the world through man's choice, man's disobedience. And the Bible definition of sin, 1 John 3:4, is breaking God's law. But it's not merely because man ate of a piece of fruit. It's a clear choice, a decision where they rebelled against God. And in rebelling against God, His wisdom, His instructions, they ruined it for all of us. Why don't we listen? Why don't we hearken to God? Why don't people listen to what we're trying to explain? Why do they laugh at Christians who say same-sex marriage? Why do they scorn when we try to teach, abortion is wrong and all the rest of it, killing innocent babies? Why do they scorn? Why do they teach the party lifestyle is not for Christians, but they think it's funny when we turn away and we give in to the devil and his delicacies? Why is it that Christians these days spend most of their time refuting sins that the world tries to force on us, wanting us to accept it? Drugs, alcohol, homosexuality. Why do we gravitate to these hot button issues? Can we not stand for the truth whenever possible? I think sometimes we miss the point. God wants our hearts. He wants our hearts. And if you read Romans, the first chapter, Romans chapter 1, many times we go to Romans chapter 1:20, defending the existence of God. They're without excuse. And then we jump on the condemnation of these other sins, verses 24 through 28. What we overlook is the basis of all sinful activity. How can people be so depraved in mind and impure in heart? Because they've rejected the authority of God, like Adam and Eve. And because God has given them over, it's used 24, 26, 28, to be enslaved to their own sins. Romans chapter 1, verses 18 through 20. The text does not tell us that people should believe in God. God created within each of us the ability to understand His existence. Whether we acknowledge it or not, whether we see the stars or the sign or anything else, that's a choice we have. But we must live for the moment, or else we can live for God. And some people are not content. Some people are not content. So Romans chapter 1 says, Paul gives the result, because even though they knew God, they did not glorify Him as God, neither were they thankful. But they became futile in their thoughts, their foolish hearts, and their hearts were darkened. They were professing to be wise, they became fools, and they changed the glory of the incorruptible God into an image made like corruptible man, the birds and the four-footed animals and the creeping things. Anytime we start fighting effects rather than causes, we're not going to do much in the long term. Effects rather than causes. Let me bring a wee thought here. Come up to me the other day and said, he's a drunk, sent him to hell. Never asking the question, why do you think he drinks? Why do you think he's trying to dull the pain? What is he trying to cover up or hide, or why does he drink? You know, she's shacking up with another man. Never once stopping to ask the question, why is she so lonely? Why is she so insecure? Why does she see the need to move in with someone else and to leave her husband? Why do we do these things? I have some holes in my yard. I'm afraid to go out at night in case I fall in one. But I used to try to go out and stamp them down and cover them up. I'd get the shovel and beat the fire to the hole. My neighbour one time told me, come in and said, that's not doing much good there, beating that with a shovel or a spade. You've got gophers. I said, what? He said, gophers. And he told me all about these gophers. And he says, you need to go to the co-op and get yourself some pellets. I did. And for a while those little rascals went away. But I don't know who sent for them again. They're back. And I got holes all over my yard. Before I got the pellets, one brother says, you need to get gum. So I went down and bought 4 or 5 packets of gum. Chew. Put the gums in the hole. Every morning I got up to see there was a dead blooming thing there in the hole chewing gum. No. There was a piece of gum sitting there by itself. And the gophers didn't even bother with it. They looked at me and laughed and said, we're back. And you can chew all the gum you want. I was chewing, I don't know what I was chewing, gum, trying to kill these little pesky things. Or trying to get rid of them to go to somebody else's yard because they were making terrible holes in the yard. The pellets worked, but the gum didn't. The gum didn't. When God tells us, this is what you do to live, this is what you do for life, we need to listen to what God has to say. We approach sin the same way I tried to approach my gophers. We kick dirt into the hole. We try to bury. We try to fill in the hole. We try to pretend they're not there. Let's bury these ugly holes. Sins like adultery, abortion, everything else. It all stems from, do you believe in God? You can argue with people all day long why this is wrong, this is right, whatever it is, until they realize that God is the final authority in all these subjects. People in the world are not going to listen. Is there a God? Yes. Has he spoken to us? Yes. What am I doing about it? Can I ignore him? Yes, but at your own cost. You can ignore God, but you'll be given over to your own sinful desires. I'm telling you now, live life for God and live life to the fullest. Stop trifling and well, maybe the Bible doesn't mean. The Bible does mean. And listen to God's word and listen to him, and you'll not be put wrong. Thank you for tuning in today. May God bless you.